Hello and welcome to GTO Coach and Go. I'm Jim Delleman with Group Travel Odyssey. I want to thank you for joining us again today. And before we get started with today's topic, I do want to remind you, if you've not done so yet, if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit that little subscribe button. Also, if you ring the bell, you'll be notified anytime that we do have new content on our YouTube channel. You can also connect with us on LinkedIn at Group Travel Odyssey and make sure to like our Facebook page as well. So follow us on all of our methods of social media, and you'll be kept up to date on a lot of really wonderful things that we have going on. Today, we wanted to introduce you to something new that's coming to GTO. And in order to help me do this, I'm going to bring back our favorite professional from GTO, Corey Vries. So let's bring Corey onto the screen.
So, hello. I bet you say favorite to every person. Like every person comes on is your favorite, right? I get it.
You are because you're my most frequent collaborator on this. So, it gives us a chance to see each other, even though we're in two completely different cities. So
exactly right.
Business without boundaries and everything.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Yes.
So today, what are we going to be discussing, Corey? What's this new and wonderful thing that we are going to be showing everybody today?
So what's super cool about this is, and we're always looking for ways to present our products to people that are different, that are better, that are, make us stand out. Really hit the selling points, right? So what we want to show you today is our integration with a presentation set called Qwilr. So I'm going to go ahead and do the obligatory awkward
share the screen
here.
Yes. Infinity, that kind of stuff.
And for a moment, I believe we will all go into infinity mode.
Woo.
There it is, and I'll switch my screen over. What I've done is I've created a proposal, one of our testing accounts. I've created a trip in that proposal, and this should all look familiar to everyone once you've completed building this, and you're ready to send it out to presentation. Now I've used this test for a trip for a lot of different things. So if you're like, but your status is commitment, yes, I've used this in several different demonstrations. But today we're going to talk about how you present it. Now we all do a proposal document out of the system that you can send to your client. But what if you didn't have to do any of that? Right? What if you didn't have to create that document? What if you could have something that was sent to them that they could see on any device, anywhere, that they could share with people if they wanted to, and that if they liked the idea, they could just e-sign it, and we're off and running. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So first, let me say you got to build a trip just like normal. And when you go to the Generate Proposal tab, what you're going to end up seeing here is a new section at the bottom under Generate Proposal Document. Now, your first step is always going to be generate a proposal document, right? Don't not do that. This does not replace that, because what you want to do is you're going to check that first for everything you want. If that proposal document says all the things you want it to say, then we're going to use our new system to present it. And that's called Qwilr. And what Qwilr is going to do is create a dedicated web page for your presentation of your trip. And it's simple. All you have to do is fill out your trip in total and hit this button right here called Create Qwilr Proposal. Before we do that, though, the anticipation's building, I know. Before we do that, I need to make sure that you understand that there's a couple of things you have to do when you do this. Make sure all your items are on your itinerary and that they say what you want them to say, right? You want to make sure that the proposal language is what you want it to say. And you'll see that I've overridden a couple just to see what happens, right? So we're arriving at our hotel at the luxurious Breeze Resort. And I've overridden that proposal language. For help on overriding proposal language, just remember that you go into the product to do that. And there's the section to do that. There's also the section, I'm going to go ahead and go into meal included at Cece's Pizza here. just as a product. So this is a product. You should recognize this page too. I've just chosen one out of CC's menu to show. Um, and this button right here is actually pretty important now. So let's add to inclusions. Everyone has it, but not everyone uses it. What it does is it places inclusions language in a list format on your new presentation. So if you check the box for all the things you want listed, what's going to happen is on your inclusions list, we're going to see meal at CC's Pizza be added. There's an override for this. So if you wanted to say fabulous dinner at CC's Pizza, if you want to say pizza at CC's Pizza, if you want to say CC's, and that's it, you can override the language to be whatever you want it to be, but you have to check the box to add it to your inclusions language list. Some companies do that, some don't. If you'd like to use the new system, you're going to want to add those inclusions to the list. I'll show you where they show up when we get there. So I'm going to go ahead and go back out of this. I should go back into my page here. And we're going to go ahead and hit the button. I have set it all up. I've even chosen my Disney clause, by the way. I believe Mickey comes down your chimney at Christmas, Disney clause. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the button, and you're going to notice nothing. What you're going to do is you're going to go back to this proposal form, and that's okay because it does take a minute to run. It is not instantaneous into the system. So you go get yourself a coffee, maybe a bathroom break here at this point in time. But when you come back to the generate proposal button, there's going to be a web link added in. We're going to go ahead and see if it ran pretty quickly. Like all our pipelines, you have to kind of wait just a few seconds before it does it. And you'll see now the button to create it is gone. And instead, there is a link to a web page. Let's click on the web page and see what happens. That's going to take us to our presentation page. This is a dedicated URL for your presentation only. You're going to have your logo sitting here under the where our awesome logo is. You're going to have the trip name and the trip dates. And in the background, we have chosen a flyover of my backyard in winter. But there are lots of choices, and this is customizable by the company, so the company can choose. It can be a picture. It can be some sort of video in the right format, something short so that it loops. Or it could just be a color. If you're like, nah, we don't need anything fancier than that. But I found this to be very cool because it stands out, right? The first thing you notice is it has the information. It's going to have the account name there, a school or a scout troop or someone's bat mitzvah. If they're all traveling somewhere, that will all will be here with this very cool moving background of whatever you want to choose. And then comes your itinerary. So it's going to list your itinerary by day. You can see your days. To keep from scrolling a lot, what we've done is we've collapsed them. So let's look at Sunday and see what happens. Well, now what happens is our itinerary shows up just as it did on our proposal document. So our itinerary language comes over. Early morning motor coaches arrive. We're going to have a meal en route at your own expense. You're going to arrive in Orlando. You're going to here's my override. Hotel check-in at the luxurious Breeze Resort, right? So your override language comes in. Here's our other override: meal included at CC's Pizza, time for swimming at the hotel in the evening, and hotel check-in. I should have put the hotel. Oh, yes, this was the old hotel check-in. My apologies. I forgot to remove it, but that's okay. I'll tell you what happens when we want to remove that. Come down to Monday. We have breakfast. We have our language for our Disney ticket. We have lunch on a Disney card. Of course, you'd fill out dinner. You'd fill this out much greater in much greater detail if you want to, just like you do on any others. Here's Tuesday, breakfast at hotel, your choice. Now we're gonna have a meal included at Planet Hollywood for dinner. And on Wednesday, we're gonna breakfast hotel. We're gonna check out. We're still gonna go to the park. We're gonna do our Disney, and we're gonna depart for home. So all of that was your itinerary as you put it into the system. Now sitting here for you, for your clients. They can show one day, they can show many days. They can use this as a presentation when they're showing people. They can use it to send to parents to look at. You can do all those things. And now you don't have to worry about a PDF. You don't have to worry about them altering it and sending, all that stuff is been eliminated by using this. Here's an overview. Your name and the dates. Your tour includes transportation. You included, or I included on mine, a motor coach, so it tells me that I have round trip motor coach transportation, 24-hour support. It calculates out I have 3 nights in a hotel. I have 7 meals included on the proposed itinerary at this point in time. We're going to Walt. Now you remember when I said that we needed to click the inclusion language. I clicked it on 4 things: Walt Disney World, the dining card, the meal at Planet Hollywood, and the meal at Cece's Pizza. Those are the 4 that I did. They show up here as attractions. Let's say I didn't want the dining card on there. Why? Because I already have 7 meals on the proposed itinerary. I would then unclick the include on the inclusions, and it will disappear from this. So you make sure that you're only including things you want listed as attractions or sites. I've chosen individual registration instead of group registration. Those are the 2 choices there. I included a tour director on my trip. It will say once you publish this trip, the inclusions are based on today's date and subject to availability and rates. By the way, just as a side note, we are noticing in GTO that a lot of our vendors are having to raise rates a little bit more than they thought they were going to have to when we spoke to them originally. So please keep an eye on your trips and trip prices. Inflation's gone up a little bit more than all of us planned, so same thing for them. But we make sure that it's subject to availability and rates at the time of finalizing the travel agreement. Here's our pricing. Came over, we set up our pricing: quad, triple, double, single prices. This is the Disney clause that I added. Not bringing me presents, but still important nonetheless that we have sitting here on our if you have such a legalese statement that you want added, then we can do that for you. This proposal was created today by me, and the proposal price is valid for 30 days. Now, here's another cool thing. So not only is it presented in a very clear manner on a website that you can share, right? They can accept it right here. They can send you the acceptance. Now, what you're going to do is they're going to accept the proposal. You're saying to yourself, well, what if they want to make changes? Well, I promise you, here, oh, wait, I'm sorry. June Qwilr was the person that could sign this. And I don't know what her email is, but here's where you do it. You can accept this as written or with the modifications listed below. So by accepting this, I don't want you to think anybody's locked into anything. It's just saying, let's move forward. It's giving you permission to continue on with the process, or if they haven't accepted it, then you need to follow up with them. But it gives them the opportunity to say, I accept the proposal just as it is, or I'd like to add a dinner dining card. And when I say accept this proposal, I didn't enter my email, but I will go ahead and enter mine. G-tone T work. And I accept the proposal. Then what I'm doing is I'm sending, the acceptance, and then I can be done. I'm going to get a notice that says, hey, this has been accepted. Let's move forward, right? And this is a cool presentation device that is going to be different than your competition, much sleeker, much more 21st century in its ability. The first things, I can hear every salesperson go out there and go, I'm going to mess up the first one. You know what? You probably will. I messed up the first one, if that helps you any. And so we wanted to let you know that there is a way to reset yourself. If you come back to that same place where we had the Qwilr link, you'll notice a button that says Reset Qwilr Proposal. If I click this button, and I'll do it now, then basically the system's going to go through some machinations to clear out the proposal that you've just created. And if it's finished, basically what I'm going to do is I'm no longer going to have the Qwilr link, but I am going to have my proposal button back. So now I can generate it again. And just to show you what I'm talking about, let me go to the inclusions table real quick. If you didn't know this is where this was, here are my 4 inclusions that I had. And let's say, instead of, like, I know that I have, like, let's check it out. I have a dining card on this day and this day. So I really have $50 worth of meals on dining card. On this inclusion, you know what I'm going to go ahead and do? I'm going to override this language. You know, and I can't do it from there. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm going to override that inclusions language. So I'm going to go to one of those, the one I have the inclusions on right here. I'm going to go to this. And I'm going to change this inclusion to say, you know, now I'm going to say $50 of Disney dining excellence. Right? So now basically what my inclusions are going to say are, and I need to go to my inclusions table. I'm not sure that we'll have updated just yet. So yes. So here's my $50 of dining, Disney dining excellence, right? So if I, and the other problem I had was I had the hotel check-in for my old hotel that I want to remove. See, I have those 2 problems on there that I wanted to fix now that I saw it. And basically what I'm going to do now is I'll rerun my Qwilr proposal. And again, I'm going to stall for time, wave my hands a little bit. I know you can't see them, but I'm sort of waving my hands a little bit to wait for that to run.
There we go. Now you can.
All right. So now I'll go to the generate proposal button again. And it's not quite there yet. It's still doing its thing. And I want to, but I'll mention at this point in time that once you reset the Qwilr proposal once, you cannot regenerate a third one. Bandwidth, of course, is at a premium, but you will be able to contact someone in your company to talk about resetting that. So just be aware that, and it may take a minute. So just be aware that the Qwilr, or that you can only do 1 reset per Qwilr demonstrations, so to speak, or one Qwilr, 1 proposal, right? Just 1 is all you get. Too bad for you. So make sure that here it goes. Make sure that one counts when you do the redo. So let's see if our changes were made. So we had 2 check-ins on the hotel here, right? And so now my second check-in is gone. And if I scroll on down, I have $50 of Disney dining excellence that I've added to my inclusions. Now I'm ready to send it out to give that link. And all you have to do is send this link to the group leader, and they can access it at any point in time from anywhere, and look at it with this cool design.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's a super cool thing. And you can set up that top block. We can put whatever you'd like behind there to kind of give it your own flair and flavor. It can, like I said, just be a color. Your logo will be on it. It will be branded for you. And it's just a cool thing. But I'm not done yet, if that helps you, Jim. But wait, I am the Ron Popeil of GTO.
There's more.
But there is more. We have indeed also added a Qwilr version of a travel agreement. So it works the same process, where there will be a button that says send to Qwilr. You'll have 1 reset of it, right? But it will do your terms and conditions. So this is your basically your travel agreement. I went ahead and generated it so we didn't have to wait on it. So I'm going to open it up though real quick, and I'm going to show you what it is. Basically, it's your logo again and the school name, or the trip name, but now you have your travel agreement. So basically, We have various parts that you fill in, you create in Company Manager. So this information has all been pulled from the Awesome Travel Accounts group or Company Manager account where we have filled it all in. So this is the a top part, your tour details. Now I'm going to tell you, it's a little weird, but and I created this a little while back, so this is not the same. But if you want to see the itinerary, right now, at this point in time, we have to cut and paste this link into your browser to see the itinerary. It will take you to the document that we just created in Qwilr, so it will take you right to that thing that they signed. Because I redid it, but I didn't redo this one. It still has the old URL if someone is looking at it closely. But that's what you'll do is you'll cut and paste that link into your browser. It'll have the destination and the travel dates, that you have 2 complimentary passengers. There are 50 people going on my trip, 45 students and 5 adults. And then here are your package prices, the projected total cost of the trip, the payment information that I entered into the trip. So just like any other time you put in your payment information, here's where here it will show up on this travel agreement. Your terms and conditions, we have sort of an introductory paragraph, and then basically we have all the legalese that you want for your company. This is all set by you. We took some general ones and put it in here. We made sure this is Awesome Travel Company. If you keep seeing ATC, that's who we are. Our fake company is Awesome Travel. And we just filled all this stuff in with cancellation dates, changes, complimentary tours, items, confidentiality. All of this stuff is here for them. You have to have that stuff sent out. They have to sign it. So guess what? We actually have like there's verifications here. This is not just when we're accepting and signing now, we're actually doing e-signing. So they can accept this agreement right here. If I press the button, it's going to ask for their first name, their email, their organization. You can either type, draw, or upload your signature into here. You're agreeing that it's valid and you're accepting and signing it. So no more waiting for them to print it out, sign it, and send it back, or no more having them print it out, having them sign it and them emailing it back, or mailing it back, snail mail, or no more how do you print this out questions from them. It's just going to be here, and it can be done just like that. So another great feature. It's not quite as it's obviously got many more words and not so much graphics, things like that, but it is very, very functional, and it needs to be wordy because that's your terms and conditions, and that bottom section there is all set up by you for us to do here, and everything can just move along much faster for you. You don't have to wait for things. They can do it like, oh yeah, I've been meaning to sign that travel agreement. Well, can we go do that now? Let's do that now, right? And they could go in and there's no more excuses as to why they can't do it, because it really is just that easy to do.
Well, that's the thing that's nice too, is that it gives the immediacy of once you've sent something out, whether it's the proposal or whether it is this travel agreement, there really isn't an excuse for a delay from somebody from signing it. So, it's not like they can't remember where it is. It's not like they have to print it out and then scan it and then send it back. Basically that is being taken away. So it really gives that immediacy. They can go through it. They can sign it within 5 minutes of receiving it, and then we could get it back, and you're good to go. You move forward.
That's right. And it's funny because one of the things about GTO that is new to people is the amount of information that they have to put into the system. That they're used to, but because you're putting it all in, all of these things you do at the end of the trip are done just like with a click of a button. You have this thing created, and with a send of an email, you have the URL sent to them. So if you put in all the information correctly, the end part of the trip is so instantaneous. The presentation, the return, the travel agreement, all those things are now you're not retyping out everything. You're not cut and pasting anything. You're not. Um, I think one of my favorites is on travel agreements. Right. I watch so many people fill in this part right here on every travel agreement. And I know that seems really weird that you're like, well, how hard is it to paste that in? I don't know, every place. Did you get every place in here that GTO the test thing? Did you get that photo, copied every place it needs to be?
Right.
Well, we did what we did, right? Because you put it in, it's already there. When you select, that's the thing. When you selected the group, you put that information, this information here, in every place it needed to go immediately.
Mhm.
And I think that's great. The same thing is you didn't have to, like, on a travel agreement, most people have to put in their dates. They have to put in the date of the trip. They have to put in all of this information. It's already done for you because you already did it in GTO.
Right.
And this becomes as simple as pressing a button, and the link is there for you. So if I go back now to the page where we generated it, which is the operations tab, right? And it's under a section called Qwilr. We have this terms and conditions list. I actually, in testing, I already reset it once, so I know I can't reset it again until I go in and do some administrative work on it. But you have the ability. Oh, I messed up. I actually don't know how you can mess this part up because there's nothing you need to add that I'm aware
Right.
of. But if you did somehow, between the travel agreement and something changed that you needed to fix that you didn't, I don't know, but you can reset this once as well before you you need to involve some administration at your company to do that. And notice I say at your company, not me. You don't have to come to GTO for it. We're going to designate somebody in your company that's able to go in and reset it again. And that's just to keep track of. We can't just make 3,000 copies of something because we make one little mistake here and there. We need to make sure that we just understand that this is costing some bandwidth, and we just need to make sure that it's right before we go. Hence the reason, again, why you create a proposal document and check it for all the things you need before sending it to Qwilr.
And also, even if they have done their revision and stuff already, they can always go back to that original form of the proposal and do like any tweaks and updates on that and send that out. If you require,
right.
oh, we needed to change a restaurant or we needed to do this, you still have the ability of creating that original invoice. It's just not going to be through Qwilr. So, once you've done you've pressed the button, you've reset it, you've pressed it again. Even if you've done it a third time and you still need to make more revisions, you can do it on just that general proposal form still.
Well, that's exactly right. So when you're doing a bunch of revisions, you're going back and forth, use the proposal document, right? They don't need a fancy presentation. They've already bought your trip at that point in time. Right. But what I would do is if I got my first one exactly right, and I accept it, but with some revisions, I might actually do the revisions back and forth on a proposal document. And when I get the final one, I may actually reset it and send that second one,
right,
so that they can use that one as a presentation device. So if you didn't have to reset it once, use the last one as their final one too. Because you can get a second one.
Absolutely.
And I mean, that's a great way, And I know that this like it's a shifting in thinking. I have seen a lot of people, and I'm like this too, right? When I'm presenting something to somebody, I kind of use the same format I'm used to, right? Yeah. Everyone who's receiving something from me is used to that format. This is definitely a think outside the box kind of thing, something different, something new, a new way to do it, that I think will make you stand out in a crowd when you're trying to present this to someone. It looks slicker. As the younger generation comes in that you're selling your product to, your trips to, you have to start speaking their language and not yours. And PDFs are becoming an older thing, Jim. It is true.
What do you mean younger generation? We're not the younger generation anymore, Corey?
We are not to the younger generation. I hate to tell you this. I'm not even sure we're the generation below that. There's a whole nother one.
Yeah.
And they as they come in, they want things on the internet. They want things
right.
Just saying the words on the internet puts me in the older class, right? Because for them, it's just there. It's just how you present things to people.
Yeah.
And so welcome to the 21st century, and we've provided you this opportunity to sell to those people, and I think it's great. And what you're going to do, people are, if there are people who are watching this live, they may have immediately gone to a proposal and said, wait, I don't see anything there. You probably see the Qwilr line, but nothing underneath it. That's right. Because yes, you will need to contact someone in order to activate this feature. Jim, do you have more information on that? Who do you want them to contact?
Who do we what?
Who do you want them to contact, right?
They can contact Kara or myself, and we can go ahead and guide them through that. They can also, if they wanted to, contact the help desk and put help Qwilr setup. And here's the help desk information as well. But you can contact any of us. If you're already one of our community members, by all means, reach out to us. We'll help you through this. We're here to guide you through, get it built into the system for you. And also, as Corey was saying, with it being so much more visual, you have choices. You have choices if you want different types of logos or a different photo or that video clip, or anything like that you want, we can set that up specifically for your company. But that's why we do need you to contact us if you're interested in it. It's not something that you're just going to automatically see. If you don't think that your company is going to use that, you don't need to worry about it, because you have the ability to still continue to create the proposals as we've already shown. And so that proposal form is not going to leave. This is just giving you another option.
It is, and I would highly suggest anyone within the sound of my voice to try it, to get set up and try it. Yeah, it is such a cool feature that I bet if you have a 20-year-old client, or not 20-year-old, but you have had a client for 20 years, and they don't need the fancy Qwilr thing. They just want their document, just like always. Don't use it. But if you really want to make an impression, I highly suggest you get set up and give her a try.
Sounds fantastic. Yeah. Well, this is great. And again, we're ready with this. So, contact us. Let us know if you're interested in having that added to your proposal area when you're creating a proposal. And also, if you wanted to be able to generate your travel agreement, let us know that. And we will make sure that gets put into the system, and we'll walk you through that whole process as well. Does that sound good?
Sounds good to me.
Excellent. Also, just a reminder that if you are watching this live and you know that there are other people who would really benefit from seeing this, you can access this GTO Coach and Go and all of the other GTO Coach and Goes, as well as our Destination Dispatch episodes, on our YouTube channel. So this does live on our YouTube channel. Just go in, subscribe to that channel, and go into there, and you will be able to find all of the previous episodes of Destination Dispatch and all of the previous episodes of GTO Coach and Go. So if you do want a refresher, if you do want to watch again to make sure you haven't missed something, because we do have a tendency to talk, Corey and I. So, by all means, go back and look at it again, send it to your team members so they have a chance to see it as well. And again, while you're in there, make sure to subscribe. So we want you to know that is there, that archive of information is there for you as well. Just a reminder, Coach and Go does happen on Tuesdays. Every other Tuesday, we have a live episode where Corey and myself, or somebody else from the team and myself, will come through, and we will go through features. We will go through things that we are launching, like this Qwilr proposal and all of the new all of the new things that we have planned, we will be letting you know when those are ready to launch. So every other Tuesday, we're going to be hitting you up with these Coach and Goes, and that's going to be at 2 o'clock Eastern time. So make sure to join us live for those. You have the ability to ask questions when you are watching a live episode, and we will, by all means, answer the questions as we receive them. So don't be shy. Make sure to do that. On Thursdays, we normally have Destination Dispatch. Destination Dispatch is where we visit some of the really wonderful regions and areas for group travel. And we learn from some of the experts in those areas what makes group travel to their area so special. We don't have one this Thursday. We were supposed to, but it has been postponed. But we will be back next Thursday, and that will be with Anaheim. So we're going to learn everything. Now, we know a lot of stuff that there is to do in Anaheim already, but we're going to learn even more about the things that you may not know about Anaheim, and that will be next Thursday at 2 o'clock as well. Corey, thank you so much. I'm assuming
Thanks
that
for having me.
Hearing from our members, and as that happens, if you have questions, we will make sure to update everything for you, and we do hope to see you again on another episode. So make sure to join us. Corey, again, thank you so much. And to all of our friends in Florida, we wish you the best over these next few days. Stay safe, stay at home if you need to. If you need us for anything, by all means, reach out to any of us. We are here for you. We're here to help you out. So take care of yourselves, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching this episode of GTO Coach and Go. We invite you to stay connected with Group Travel Odyssey on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn, and be sure to check out more of our media, including Destination Dispatch and the Destinations Beyond Expectations podcast. Please visit our website, grouptravelodyssey.com, where you can learn more about GTO and request a demo. Group Travel Odyssey, business without boundaries.